Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. Last week, I was driving home from work. It was an ordinary day, but not out of the ordinary. I pulled into my garage, turned off my car, but my key was stuck. I couldn't get the key out of the ignition. So I sat there for what seemed like an eternity, putting it to the right, putting it to the left, going up, going down, and I couldn't get the darn key out of the ignition. After a few minutes, I said, I don't know what's going on here, but maybe I'll put my foot on the brake. Maybe I'll pump the brake. So I did that, and the key was still stuck. It was driving me crazy. So then I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to start over. I'm going to turn the car back on, turn the car off, and everything will reset, and the key will come out. Simple enough. So put my foot on the brake, key was already in, push the start button, and the only thing that happened was I got a warning sign saying, key in ignition. And then the radio came on. So I pushed the button again, and the radio went off. And this repeated itself. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I started to get a little nervous. My heartbeat started going. I started feeling a little sweaty. Because not only did I have a key that was stuck in my car, but I had a car that wouldn't start now. So I was kind of beside myself, and I went under the steering wheel and got my house keys off of the key best I could, and went inside. Have you ever had a problem that was it's such a simple solution that the answer was right in front of you, right under your nose? So as I'm inside, I kept thinking to myself, I gotta get this key out, because we're not gonna drive. How am I gonna get to work? How am I gonna go out? How am I gonna do things? So I went back out to the car, tried pulling on it, it's still stuck. I broke out my user manual to the car, the owner manual, and tried to look into the ignition. And the only thing I found was how to put your windows down and how to lock the doors, just all kinds of useless stuff that didn't help. So then I said, I'm gonna call my friend Phil, because Phil's kind of like a gearhead, and he knows all about cars, and he's got pretty good understanding and stuff. So I called him, and I was like, Phil, I said, dude, my key is jammed in the ignition, everything on, I can't get it out, I don't know what to do. It's driving me crazy. I'm like, I can't do anything. I'm gonna have to get it towed. And he's just like, maybe it needs oil. Thanks. So at that point, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go, and I went to Google, because if you can't figure it out, Google's probably got an answer. So I went back inside, and I pulled up my laptop, and I Googled 2008 BMW 335xi stuck key, enter. And I got about 25,000 hits for fellow BMW owners who had stuck keys. And there's all kinds of chat rooms and forums about broken BMWs and what to do, and there's a special one on stuck keys. I was like, sweet, I'm gonna figure this out. I got it. And I started getting more nervous and more freaked out, because some of the solutions people were posting were like, oh, maybe the heat warped your plastic on the dashboard, and now your key's stuck, and you gotta get the whole dashboard taken down to get the key out. And then someone else said, maybe it's a transmission problem, and the transmission is back into the ignition, and that's why it's stuck. So I was like, I am screwed. This is gonna be like, $1,500, and there's no way I'm gonna get this key out. I can't drive my car. And then I got to the third page, and someone said, are you sure your car is in park? And I thought to myself, man, am I an idiot? For the last 30 minutes, I've been trying to get this key out, calling people, going to Google, and my car wasn't in park, it was in drive. So I went outside, stupidly put the car in park, and the key came right out. And I asked myself, how did I miss this? I mean, for 30 minutes, something crossed my mind. And I like to think of myself as having at least moderate or low to moderate intelligence. But I missed something that was so simple. And I asked myself why. And I thought back to when I was getting my MBA. And there was some coursework we took on emotional intelligence and conflict management. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these topics, but basically what they sum down to is that with emotional intelligence and conflict management, people have certain ways of controlling their emotions such that they can find creative and effective and tactful solutions to problems when they're presented in a conflictive or in a challenging or in an emotional manner. And they find that people that are best at doing this are actually some of the best employees. And when they look at people that are CEOs of companies and who make the most money and who are considered the most successful, they don't have the highest IQs, but they have some of the best ability to control their emotions and think logically. Now, some of the authors of emotional intelligence and some of those people who promote emotional intelligence actually claim to blame one thing, and it's adrenaline. Now, adrenaline makes sense, and it made sense 10 million years ago on the evolutionary scale of things. Because, you see, when we were on the plains and you're fighting for your life, and if you're being chased by a dinosaur or a predator, you didn't have time to think. You had to react. And adrenaline initiates a reactive thought process. Unfortunately, adrenaline is carried with us through the evolutionary scale of things. And what adrenaline prevents is rational thought process and logical thought process. And one way the authors state that you can actually promote rational thinking is to just have more oxygen. So you need more oxygen to get to that part of the brain because it's further on beyond the reactive center. And so one simple thing they promote is just simply breathing. And sometimes taking up to 10 breaths when you're faced with a challenging situation can actually be helpful to get the oxygen to your brain. And you know what? They're right. They are right. Because also last week, when I was coming home from work, and Game of Thrones was on TV right now, and I had to watch it right now, I picked up my remote, I pushed the all-on button to turn on my TV, my cable box, and my receiver, and only the receiver came on. And I was like, oh no. So I kept pushing the button, and nothing would happen. I took the remote, started slamming it into my hand. I said, what the hell is wrong with this remote? It worked yesterday. I wanted to throw it against the wall. I sat down, and I was about to open up Google and type in Logitech Harmony remote. And then I said, you know what? Take a deep breath. And I did. And it took 2 or 3. And then I changed the batteries, and the remote worked just fine. Thank you.